Well, if you haven't been living under a rock over the last couple of hours, we've got quite the big news going on. So secrets out. Robbie Breaux and team has now joined forces with Real Brokerage. Carrie and Sean have joining us over here. I'm super excited about this partnership that we're joining in. We've been collaborating for long time, 10, 15 years. And I've already sworn it's been less than been less than a minute already. We're already excited. So
I have ways to prove it.
It's very exciting news. We're super pumped up.
Yeah, man. I'm super pumped, man. We're able to link arms and really kind of look around and see what's happening inside the brokerage. I think this is going to be a good thing, not only, not necessarily for our team, but agents, Acadiana wide and beyond. So the cool thing about virtual brokerages, I've been with EXP for almost 6 years. It's been an amazing experience. These guys have been absolutely great. But obviously the most obvious question is why, right? So there was a handful of things that were out there. And, one of the things that drew me over to EXP is this, ironically, the same thing that drew me over towards Real Brokerage, which is, the agents have an ownership interest in the company. So a lot of traditional brokerages, they are, the brick and mortar. There's a lot of expenses that are going on. So the profits go from top down, and with these virtual brokerages like EXP and Real Brokerage, it's bottom, so agents up. We're the ones that help build the company, and we're the ones that get compensated first. So a little bit more about that, but there's some stock stuff that's going on. Stocks right now have been, that was the big thing that pushed me. Everybody's got a company dollar that they pay their brokerage, and brokers need those funds to be able to operate. Now we've got the opportunity to be able to go and reward your agents back that are, one, producing. Two, if you're not producing, you can still be able to buy things at a discount. And three, you can get rewarded for linking arms. So we're able to go and jump in and link arms together and help grow this sucker to real big things.
We're both super excited, of course. And just to kind of like elaborate on that, I mean, you have your own office, obviously. And one of the things that were really important to Carrie and I, like when we made the jump, is which is only 6-8 weeks ago, fresh. Like literally fresh, is we wanted to keep our office space intact. And make it be like a central hub, and not go fully virtual. And the reason why I think that was important to us is, first off, our agents love a space where we can come and do team meetings and collaborate, and also a place to meet clients, to do presentations, just stop by in the middle of the day to process files, have a cup of coffee, talk to each other, have meetings and stuff. So
kind of the best of both.
Doing that hybrid of the best of two worlds,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for us, in the position we were before, just a small boutique brokerage, we never would have had the ability to offer our agents these other things like, the awarded stocks and the rev share. And now by teaming up with Real, we can now offer them that. So that's something they're super pumped about, and we're happy to be able to have that as options for them.
I would say too, moving from EXP over to Real, I like to give the analogy of I'm jumping into the DeLorean with Back to the Future. Me and Marty McFly are going to go and take a little ride back to 2018, whenever I first started. January 1st, 2018 is when I moved over from Van Eaton and Romero over to EXP. And at the time, my memory serves me correct, share prices within the $6, $7, $8 a share range. And essentially what happens, there was a few different ways that we were able to go and acquire stock. First was I was able to buy stock at a 10%, or at the time it was a little bit more, because the share price was, I was able to buy the shares at a discount, and I could turn around and sell it at any time because this is what I bought. Another opportunity would be to sell enough homes to be able to go through our company dollar plus 20 additional transactions to get the Icon Award, where I would get stock for free. When I worked at Van Eaton and Romero, when the company dollar had to pay It had to pay the rent off the building. It had to pay for all the technology and the salaries and all the expenses that every business owner, normal business owner, has to be able to do. Now it got, because there's none of that stuff over at EXP. Now none of that stuff over at Real. Same thing happens. But what happened was that Icon Award at $16,000 in company stock, the stock actually grew. And, full disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not, I'm not an investment banker. I have no way to be able to predict the future. And in no way, shape, or form am I saying that anybody's stock is going to go up, down, stay the same, or what have you. But going by, the move that I wanted to do was, at the time, EXP was growing rapidly. Real is growing rapidly. Right now, Wall Street is not a big fan of anything that's real estate related. That, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't necessarily pull that, but it doesn't take a rocket science. The general public's not too crazy about the real estate market. We could, this is probably not the video to debate on why you think it's good or not, but Wall Street doesn't. So, but what that tells me is that when things turn around, right now, I'm able to acquire these stocks by doing what I've always done, which is sell houses, buy stock, get bonus stock before I cap, more bonus stocks after I cap. And at some point, maybe these shares got the potential to be able to grow. And in order for me to be able to double my money at EXP, they're trading anywhere from $15 to $16 a share. It would have to be 30 to 32. If I'm trying to triple it, it's going to be $45 to $48 a share. It's going to take a long time for me to be able to do that. And at Real, they're a little bit more in their infancy. This is, again, traveling back on the DeLorean, we're at $1.50 a share. Chances are, when Real grows, so will EXP. But percentage-wise, I've got the chance to double, triple, quadruple. It's much easier for that to happen.
Yeah.
Would be, at mathematically speaking, at EXP. I by no means think that EXP's in any trouble. I don't think they've done anything wrong. I just think that we're in a position right now. It's a pretty crazy opportunity that, for me, the stocks are on Black Friday sale. We're at 90% off in my, and again, that's just my own personal theory. That's got nothing to do with anything, or don't go mortgage your house off to go buy all the stocks right there. But if you do, I wouldn't be upset anyway. But I feel like everything's on sale, and the ability to go and build wealth through free stock, through free stock through their elite agent program, and through buying and taking advantage of that stock options that we've got to be able to purchase them at a discount or get the bonus for it. It's a pretty crazy opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. And for me, like when I was looking at this, because I brought this to Carrie, and I was like, "Hey, Carrie, please don't shoot me," because we've spent a lot of time building the District South brand, as you know. Can you hear that background noise? Is that bothering you?
They're deciding to mow the grass right now.
Yeah, they decided to mow
Of
the
course.
grass literally right now.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
I can hear, but it's not too bad. So.
Oh, okay. So for me, it was like, well, when I look at it, I was like looking in. I don't like to talk in terms of absolutes, especially when you're talking about stocks and money, et cetera. But the way I like to look at it is I like to look at things in terms of probabilities. And so when I looked at the trajectory of the agent growth, when I looked at the competitiveness of the models, so in terms of like the rev share, in terms of the stock awards, the bonus stocks were like insanely competitive. And then I looked, of course, at the price. I was like, oh, wow, man, there's a lot of opportunity here, a lot of upside opportunity. So when I looked at everything, and then I went and spoke with upper management, and really that was a big deal to me, because I saw like how well the company was organized and how well it was running in the back end. And then I was like, look, based on the probability of where everything is going, do I see upside growth for this company? And I'm not just talking about a double up. I'm saying, do I see a 10x plus with this company? And because I'm not just trying to like take a short little roller coaster ride and be off of it in 2 years, I'm like, do I see a 10x? Do I see 10 years worth of growth? And the short answer to that was, I definitely see it, and the probabilities of it happening were definitely much higher than the probabilities of it not happening. And so that's one of the things when I brought it to Carrie and I was like, hey, don't shoot me. But I see in this contracting volume environment where agents need to keep more of their money. And also one of the things is, of course, agents, they're entrepreneurial by spirit. They're out there hustling, they're grinding, they're buying leads, they're door knocking, they're taking all the risk, they're independent contractors. They're their own little business already. And so why not merge your independent contractor business with the brokerage model and with the share ownership and of course the rev share? And it's just like another facet of income and wealth generation that real estate agents already chase. So I was like, this is a no-brainer. I think that we should seriously look at this. And so from like a wealth creation point of view, it's not like we're leaving our wheelhouse either, right? Because how many real estate agents do you know that also own rental properties, that they do flips? I mean, I flip, I rent. I own stock, real estate stock, but I have stocks as part of my real estate already. And so I'm like, well, why can't I just add another facet to what I'm already doing with rev share ownership, and then also have the opportunity to bring up all my agents with me. And now with the current market conditions, like that now is definitely the time to make that move.
Yeah, definitely. When he brought it to me and he laid everything out, I thought, yeah, this is a no-brainer. We do need to do this, but we were looking for something different. We were looking to scale our business, but what really sealed the deal for me was whenever we did talk to, Tamir, we had a Zoom with Tamir, and after speaking with him, we found that we truly did align with Real, so I knew that it was going to be a good match. They, believe in quality over quantity, and that's something that was really important to us. So after hearing that, I said, let's do it. Let's make the jump. And it's been really great so far.
I'd love to, and this was really important to me. My team members also had the ability to win in this market. Everybody's interests are aligned. So, it's set up for our team members. If you're on an individual team, you've got the ability to do a half cap. So it's a little bit harder to be able to cap and get all the rest of the advantages that are out there, but they are able to get to their full split a little bit faster. But they've also got some benefits attached to it with some share benefits, which we didn't have at EXP before. Their numbers, their bottom line was, they're not spending as much money on their monthly fee. They're not spending as much money on their E&O as what's going on over at the other side. Again, this is their model, and it makes a lot of sense, and they've been extremely successful doing with what they've done. But this is a win for them too on their bottom line. Just like you said, they're doing their door knocking and they're doing their leads and they're doing all that other stuff to be able to win. Where can we be able to help them, help them succeed too? So they've got that option for those benefits as well, should they want to go and participate in.
Yeah, man. And like, honestly, when Carrie and I had the discussion, one of the things that we were talking about is this better or worse for our agents? And so we actually ran all of our numbers side by side with Real's. And not only was it more financially advantageous on their transactional revenue, dollar for dollar, then you start adding in all of these other perks, plus, like, I like to call it the forced savings account or forced investment account of being able to go into the share ownership. Did somebody give us balloons?
I think they gave us some congratulations.
Celebratory.
I definitely
the magic stuff going on Facebook.
That was cool. I thought that was just something that, it kind of mimics what we already tell our clients. I mean, part of the thing that we tell our clients when they're buying a house is, when you buy a house, it's almost like a forced savings account. Every single month you make that note payment. Part of what it's forcing you to pay down principal, right? And so if you opt into the stock purchase plan, it's forcing you to invest. And the good thing about forcing it to invest right now is it's at what I feel is I feel like it's undervalued, specifically for how much volume they're doing and how much revenue they're generating as a company. And you kind of alluded to this at the beginning of the conversation. And one of the reasons why it's so low, Wall Street hates real estate right now. They don't want anything to do with it. And that's good for us, because eventually real estate will be the quote, quote, hashtag shiny object again. And when it is, I'm expecting things to go very well.
Big things, man. It'll be some great things. And yeah, I'm honestly, I want it to stay on sale for as long as possible.
Me too.
I think it's a great thing, and I know everybody wants the wants the Amazon get it now and everything jump up. Like right now, let's go, man. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah,
I mean,
stock
man,
up those stocks.
I wanted to stay low, man. Stay low. Please stay low. Like in most people that's how you know. It's like, man, please stay low as long as possible because I want to accumulate as much as possible while I can.
Absolutely.
So, and it's kind of like just the old adage, every investor knows. I mean, like when you go and buy a flip house, are you trying to buy high and sell low? Are you, it's like any investment. It doesn't matter what it is. Even Walmart, whatever.
Ironically, they used to call my stock Mr. Buy High, Sell Low to just give him a hard time, all his golfing buddies. Anyway.
Yeah. But you have to buy low and sell high, and I think that there's just so much upside potential. Like you're coming in at a low share price with high upside. And then if you can have a meeting of the minds with other high-end professionals who can see what we see, yourself included, which is why we're having this conversation in the first place. If you can see it and it's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Right. And so like, once you see it, you're like, oh, we need to like you said, lock arms and build this thing together. Because if we lock arms with all of our agents, all of our teammates, and we have a shared vision, like we're going to reap the rewards of that upside together, but we also have to all work together and have a shared vision. And so like, I was very happy that you saw what I saw, and what Carrie and I saw, of course. And so, dude, I mean, obviously it's awesome. So did your teammates feel like, I mean,
all three of us collectively have always kind of looked at it at this industry from the law of abundance. I think there's plenty of business out there for everybody. And we've always shared lots of stuff together, whether it's problem solving or creative marketing ideas and or finding some off market properties to be able to look like rock stars collectively. And certainly appreciate that way. By no means did I expect anything to be any different. Should we, if not better,
yeah,
and just joining forces together. So
yeah, it's definitely long overdue too. I mean, being all three of us being top agents in the region for so long, of course, we've all been, people think that we compete against each other, which, I mean, I guess all agents do technically compete against each other, but we all like,
there's plenty to go around, man.
There's plenty to go around. Like you said, law abundance. It's very rare for, let's say, my circle or my sphere of influence to overlap with literally any other agents in this town. It's extremely rare for me. Like, I don't think I've ever had any conflict with any of y'all and no clients. Like we just do our own thing and generate our own business. And that's just how it is, So I think it's better when we can collaborate because then we have more to win together. So.
Amen. Yeah. So, we're inevitably going to jump in on the rev share talk, which is something that's there. So, the one thing that I hear about all the time is like, I don't want to be a recruiter. I'm not interested in that. And by no means does anybody, I think the biggest misconception that happens with EXP, and I think the big misconception that shows up with Real is that, and I heard this actually earlier today, it's like, man, I don't want to deal with a multi-level marketing company. And, I don't look at myself as a multi-level marketer. I was never really big on jumping in on recruiting side for any of that stuff, but I'm always happy to share my story of what I do, why I do it, and why I made decisions, and what my story happens to be, and how it may relate over to you. I just happen to sell real estate at the same time. So, in previous brokerage relationships, I've given folks, I've given referrals to join up, and the company made all the money. I got some pat on the backs, which is fine. They grew an amazing brand, which was helping in the success of the business. But, when we talk about Real and EXP, they were sharing the wealth, so to speak. And it was right off the top, essentially revenue share. For those that that don't know, it's a referral fee off the company dollar to the brokerage that you're already paying. So it doesn't come off, it doesn't come off of Sean's pocket or Carrie's pocket or my pocket or what have you. It comes off of something that we're already paying. When that company dollar goes out, it goes to take care of the brokerage operations for the brick and mortar and the high rents and the salaries and all that other fun stuff that are fixed costs that you have to deal with. This one comes right off the top. So with Real, the first, and it's probably best if I had some slides, but the advantages on that side for the folks that are only doing 1 or 2 or 3, I want to say it was like a 30, my math could be off, about a $1,200 a year difference to recruit one person that capped over at Real compared to if you capped over at EXP. $2,800 at EXP, $4,000 a year over at Real. And
you're more likely to be friends with and know that person in your top
right.
line, like directly underneath you.
I'm not selling anybody. You will never hear me going and barking up anybody's tree to try to go hammer something down their throat that they don't want to know about. Like if somebody wants to have a conversation with me about what that looks like, I welcome that call. And there's, I think that every company that's out there I want them all to be able to flourish, and maybe this is a good fit for you and maybe it's not, brick and mortar, and that's okay. You're right. Like you talked about before, once you see it, you can't necessarily unsee it. I know that there's been a lot of pushback because they don't want to feel like a recruiter, and you only make it that way if you.
The way that I'm approaching it is like, I don't like hardcore recruiting. I have like maybe 10 agents that I reached out to because I think that they would be advantageous, but like the best way to grow a good quality company and carry you with your teammates, great quality teammates over your tenure as a team leader. And we, as you know, District South has great quality agents here. And the best way to get great quality people is through agent attraction. In fact, the Real management hates the word recruiting. They don't want people going out there and being full-time recruiters. And they'll tell you that straight up, like, don't be a full-time recruiter, like do good quality business. And that's how we approach it too. Like, we do good quality business. We've built great quality relationships with high quality agents in the region. And over time, those agents have gravitated towards the District South brand or the Robbie Breaux team. And so what we've been preaching in-house is you don't need to go out and call 8,000 agents and try to get them to quote, quote, come underneath your pyramid scheme or whatever you want to call it. You just need to go out there and do great quality business and present yourself in a great quality way as a high-end professional in the region, and organically the right type of agent and the right quality of agent will organically ask you, so what is this Real thing I keep hearing about? It's so, and like I said, I called out some agent. I did make some calls to some agents in our database, probably about maybe less than 10 of them that I have a great relationship and I highly respect. And I just said, hey, I want to show you what I'm up to. And basically my approach was just like, I respect you. I want to show you what I'm up to. If you want to come on this ride, I'd love to have you with. And if you don't, no big deal. I mean, I'm still your friend, and let's go sell some real estate.
And it's hard because, like, with something like this, we're super excited about it. Like, you look at this and you look at the potential for building this wealth, and it's like you want to scream it from the rooftops, and you want everybody to be so excited about it, just like we are. So it's hard not to really want to call up everyone and tell them. But for us, just like when we started District South, we wanted these quality people. It's like what my coach tells me. It's like we're putting together this football team to win their Super Bowl. It's got to be the right people. And because Real pushes collaboration so much and giving back and sharing, I think by doing that will help us attract the right people that can then too share, and everyone can grow together, and not just within our area. It enables you to reach out far beyond Lafayette to other agents that are doing different things, and then you can connect with them and come together. It's just really awesome.
It's one of the things I love about this industry right now is we can share things that are working for us. And and like I said, even locally, we've been doing this for a long time together. And I want to be able to give, because I think there's when one grows, we all grow collectively all together. I don't believe in scarcity mindset. I think everybody needs to grow together, and it will happen. Just got to do it the right way. And I think this is the right way.
I think so too,
Agree.
man. I mean, I guess like one little thing. I mean, we've talked about the stocks, obviously. We talked about the rev share, but I'm going to tell you, just like on a personal note, of course, one of the things that kind of like got me over the edge is the willable, the fact that the rev share is willable. I don't know. I mean, I used to be at EXP. I left there like six or 7 years ago. Do they do the willable rev share? I wasn't even.
Not at this moment, no.
I'm not familiar. Like, honestly, I don't really know. What'd you say?
Not at this moment, no.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's something they'll bring in. But for me, like the willable rev share was amazing because like when I told Carrie, I was like, the thing is if she and I go to have lunch and we die in a fiery car wreck, which knock on wood, whatever, what happens? What happens to all the monthly revenue and all that was
all our hard
feeding
work.
all of our work, all the money that my wife and kids need to eat, whatever. What happens is immediately when the brokers die, all the licenses go back to LREC and they scatter. And the business gets liquidated. You sell some used furniture, and that's all they have left. So in this model, not only do you have the stock ownership to liquidate as an asset for your family and your nest egg.
And this rev share too, just to make sure, I don't think we really jump down like exactly what this happens to be.
Yeah.
You guys attracted me every time I make a sale until I cap a piece of the company dollar goes to you guys, which by the way, this is a huge seller for me. I used to have the problem, when somebody was looking at, EXP, they had to choose between one person who's either A, stayed on top of them and harassed them more, or they may have just felt drawn more over to it. And I've had a great relationship with both of you guys, and a little bit of it takes the heartache out of trying to figure out who else want to get excited and who's going to be disappointed. And love and respect both of y'all very well. You've done a phenomenal job of building up District South, and we're able to go and share some of that together. But it's for the life of the time that I'm actually producing this revenue share happen. So until I cap, you guys get a little check until I cap. And the next year on my anniversary date, it starts again. So as long as I'm here, all those funds and everybody that comes along the ride with me, there's a little bitty piece of the action that comes from the company dollar over to you and vice versa. So that portion is what gets willed over. So I think that's one thing that some people that can't quite see. So
the co-sponsorship is critical because like it was like Carrie and I mean, if they didn't have the co-sponsorship, it would have been very difficult for us to go to the agents, because with co-sponsorship, like all of our agents could just name both of us because we've literally bled for these agents like for the last 6 years. I mean, it would have been like very difficult to say, well, you get this one and you get this one. And then again, we had that collaboration. But just coming back to the willable rev share thing, of course, I mentioned, I kind of got sidetracked and said, okay, you can sell all the shares. Because I'll step back again regarding the shares. Of course, Carrie and I build this business up. Well, not very many people buy independent brokerages. They really don't even buy franchises much anymore. It's a very difficult thing to sell later on. And your earnings that you get, even if you are lucky enough to get a sell, you might only get like 2.5 times earnings. So with the stock market and liquid shares, it's easy to sell. You can sell out of the company at any time, and it's much more guaranteed than to have a buyer at the end of the rainbow than as an independent brokerage. So that aside, though, is crazy because like I retire, and then guess what? I spent all these years, my whole life, building this revenue share and building these networks and building these relationships, and now the income just disappears. Mm-hmm. Well, in this model, like if I pass away or if I retire, that income stream stays in place. So it's like a retirement account as well as an investment account on top of your transactional. And the transactional is even like you get to keep more out of transactional. Like every way that you look at it, it just like gets better and better and better. And you're just like we can't even compete with this. And we own the company. We own District South. We couldn't even compete with our own model as owners. It's just like, it's mind blowing when you look at it. It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously I knew that this was coming. And I want to tell you, dude, I've had the hardest time. Like, I mean, I'm like a vault of secrets. Okay. Like I don't gossip. People tell me stuff. It like ends with me. I want to tell you, this has been the hardest secret for me to keep because, I've been friends with you for a long time. And I was like, I told you like, dude, I'm so freaking excited. And so it's been like very difficult for me to keep my mouth shut. So I'm happy that I don't have to like go home and go anymore.
You're screaming the pillow.
It is. It's super excited, Robbie. We are both super pumped about
I'm
it.
mad at mom and dad. I got to scream in the pillow so they don't hear me. I'm pumped too, man. And for those still watching, thanks for hanging out with us for so long. There was a lot of soul searching, just checking, double checking, poking holes, looking for things like, Sean and Carrie are very smart people, but at the end of the day, I needed to poke holes for myself to make it make sense to me. And people that are looking around, I encourage you to do the same thing. Look around at what's out there. It could be the spot that you're at is a great fit for you, and that's great. Maybe this is a good spot for you too. We'd love to chat and share our stories. I'm not trying to go and put the Chinese water torture on you. It's totally up to you. But I do want to share with, in further detail what my story happened to look like and what it could be for those that are out there. So
absolutely
glad we are able to link arms finally. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
So excited to be able to jump out and do that with you guys. So
We are too.
absolutely.
Well, let's go kill it with this real estate market and keep on keeping on, you guys.
Awesome.
Sounds good, man. Thank you
Bye, Robbie.
thank you for
Thank you.
hosting
All right.
too.
Yeah.